Hello, world. This is Chris Aballo's podcast experiment, and I am Chris Aballo. Welcome to the show, the first recent show of the 2025 run thus far, in as much as, what is it? I'm surrounded by Vannas. Yes. Oh my God, this is actually kind of weird. All right, stop it. Stop it.
Did we out-weird you in the first few seconds of the show?
I'm getting tingly under the table. Joining me for the show, yeah, that's right. Sorry, you're plugged in. You can't go that far. Come back here. You're on a leash, Junior. Joining me yet again. Jesus. Some things never change.
I love it.
There's too much going on. There's very little on the table in front of me, and yet it's all in the way. Joining me once again, please welcome back Christian Cordes.
What up?
And co-star of What Lives Here, now streaming on all digital platforms and available on DVD at places like Walmart.
And it's on Tubi.
What?
It's on Tubi.
Is it really on Tubi?
Yeah, it's on Tubi.
Yeah, and where else? Freaking Amazon Prime. And
well, yeah, I know it's on Amazon.
Apple
it's
TV.
available for rent everywhere. Well, it's on Tubi. Everyone's going to watch it.
On demand, Xfinity, DirecTV, all that good stuff.
It's all the places.
All digital platforms, like Sniper, all digital platforms.
Welcome back, U-Goboy.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Hey guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Fancy seeing you guys here.
I know, right? We're acting like we just sat down.
Exactly.
As usual, just because the show isn't around on a weekly basis for a while doesn't mean, well, nothing's changed. Let's put it that way.
No.
Although we're here, as I was saying literally before we started, I realized earlier today that, yes, we did do two filmmaking special, well, what became the filmmaking special, two different discussions about the out on became the filmmaking special. We did those together, but we've never done an episode.
We've never just
three of us.
down.
No, it's never been the three of us just doing the show, which like the shows Ugo and I have done. You haven't been here to like engineer, and you two have done the two Black Friday specials. The third one likely coming soon.
We've done whole episodes.
You've done whole episodes without me, and now you're stuck doing one with me. And I like that there's three. This is the first time for this. First time for Two Piece and a Biscuit. So that's the title to beat, boys. It's already there. I'm looking at the screen and I'm like, this reminds me of something. And we figured it out.
Yeah.
It's a lunchbox.
It ended in 1865. Let me keep it going.
Two-piece and a Biscuit.
That
album
was
drops next year.
That was wild. That's got to be a drop.
I mean,
that's a drop.
I mean, that's the title.
It's a bar.
Well, no, someone was talking over me, so I don't. It's not a clean one, but that's okay.
Biscuit's insane.
Both of you with the phones. Shit. Like there's something better going on than this. Anyway.
It's on the floor.
Yeah, now it is.
It's like the bar. My bar's on the floor.
The bar is pretty low on the show. We're going to see if we can leap over
So it's been not only a minute since we've all sat down. It's been a minute since you've just done this in general.
Yeah.
It was not okay. So this is September. So you're seeing it shortly, like a couple weeks after it was filmed and recorded. But 9 months ago we were here doing the part 2 of the filmmaking special, making the out when we sat down with Darren. The bulk of the filmmaking special
I know
was
that
9 months ago.
I know that we were focused on the out for that episode, or for those episodes.
Yes,
but at the same time, like. That to me still felt like just a regular Cape episode. I know that they were focused on the out. Yeah. But at the same time, like I guess that we've just had this camaraderie since we made that film that I'm like, oh, I was just hanging out with you guys. We just happened to be talking about the film that we made.
Right.
Like,
well, that was the funny part, and not to call back to something that came out months ago, but that was the fun part about making the movie is it was such a fun day for all of us. It was like, oh yeah, we made this movie too. Like we made this short film in the midst of a fun day. Like we pulled off this thing that we were trying to do. That
it was
we
fun, minus fire alarms. Anyway.
Minus fire alarms.
I mean, minus all sorts of different things. Like we shot it 2 months later than we'd originally planned to as well. But you can watch. There's 3.5 hours of discussion about that. You can go back and watch. Yeah, exactly.
But now we're here. We're
here on the
about
YouTube channel.
Link in the bio. Loves Norbit.
Link in the bio. Yes, exactly. So Christian, uncut gems.
No.
All right, Kermit, bring us back on track.
Couple of things. Number one, Patreon. Link in the description.
Link in the bio.
If you want to see what is undoubtedly going to be a heavily edited pre-show because of concern for liability suits, then follow Cape on Patreon. Subscribe. Flat $5 a month. Go for it. Also, next week, date is to be determined because the planning has already happened for the Halloween live stream, the 2025 Halloween live stream, but it might not be on Monday. Ideally, we'd like it to be on Monday, but that date might not work. Yes, even a month out, the date might not work that I had in mind.
Everybody's busy.
But that's also why I'm only doing 10 shows this year at the end of the year, because I'm like, it's hard. And I want, as you and Jason and I discussed 10 days ago, as far as they know, that was the idea. It's like, I want to do the show the way I want to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm not just going to get on there and like crank out a show every week just for the sake of doing it. Like I will wait till we can do it. We will bank shows sometimes months in advance, as it turned out. But I would rather do the show the way I want to do the show with the people I want to do it with.
Quality is always more important than quantity. I mean, like,
for sure.
You don't want to cheapen your product. You have a standard, whatever. Like
right.
I should be filming a weekly podcast because it's a sports podcast at this point.
Right.
But it's like, I understand that there is a demand for it. It's become an institution unto itself.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that when you get an episode of the U-Goboy podcast, now streaming on all digital platforms, like link below, like it's going to be good. Even if it's a virtual, even if it's, I'm at my house, Mongo's at his house, love you, Mongo. Like, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Versus like, oh, it's Thursday, bro. We don't got nothing to talk about. Let's just pod. Like, no.
Yeah.
Then it becomes like why are we podding again? It gets lost in the, it's lost in translation.
It does, but it's all with everybody being busier now, and I feel like we've had this discussion for I think we did in 2022 and 2023, but it just seems to be more and more everyone's working harder and hard just to keep their heads above water. Yeah. Like everyone is just is busy and stressed and anxious, and it's like it's really tough. I mean, I've had discussions already for the Cape run in 2026 because I don't want to wait so long. Again, the plan was for the show to come back in like March, and that didn't happen because of life, and which is why the first two episodes that went out were recorded in February. Yeah. Like that was the plan. Hell, even, and I hadn't discussed this yet because it hadn't happened yet, but like the filmmaking special, the correct word is binge. Like binge watched and edited that to get it out April 30th because the secondary plan was, well, Cape's going to come back in May. So I wanted to clear the decks and say, let me get the filmmaking special out April 30th. So that way in like 2 or 3 weeks, I could be like, Cape is back this Monday. And that didn't happen because of things just kind of didn't come together the way I'd hoped. And circumstances outside of the show. And it's like, well, if I want to do the show with people, and sorry if this is being redundant from Cape 241 when Ugo and Jason and I discussed this, but it still applies. It's like I want to do the show with the people I want to do it with, how I want to do it. I want us to enjoy it. It doesn't want to feel like a slog where it's just like, oh, we got to get together and do the show. Oh, we got to do an hour. Oh, when's everybody available? And it is harder to coordinate. But in making some tentative plans for 2026, because I don't want to wait so long, I would like to, even if I break up the run like I did in 2023, we're 10 and then 10 later. It'd be nice to frankly do more than 20 in a year. But there's even in discussions with some people with getting a virtual setup going where it's like, okay, if we do shows virtually, let's try that for a couple of weeks and see if there's a way we can make that work. Because
I used to be against it until I started doing it. And I remember that's one of my 3 or 4 jobs is I podcast produce for people. I'm just like Riverside. I can do this for my show.
And that's exactly
when I can't get into the studio. You know what I mean? So
well, that's the thought. Like
it's literally part of the business plan whenever I produce for other people. Yeah. Like just so that they know, like, hey, listen, you don't always have to be in the room with your people.
Facts.
Like it sometimes can create even funnier situations.
It does.
Yeah. Oh yeah, virtually is its own.
You're more comfortable because I got my Marvel posters behind me. Like I'm
in my actual zone.
Yeah,
he's sitting there in his drawers at home, just like talking about the Cowboys for some reason.
Why do you think I've never stood up when we did episodes on Cape? Virtually.
Oh, I did this. I used to joke about that all the time in 2020. I'm like, I haven't worn pants all year. And coming back to the studio, like coming to a shared universe, I had to start putting pants on to do the show. I mean,
at all digital
oh, I guarantee that's taken. There's a No Pants podcast. There has to be. That's me. There's 300 million podcasts out there. Literally everybody has one. Yeah. And the No Pants podcast is absolutely a thing.
It's there.
But I'm buying the .com if it's available.
I was about to say,
we probably should do that.
Absolutely. There's going to be a quick edit here. Well, we're back.
Just how I own the domain for Jackass 5, just in case.
Nice.
Do you own Jackass V or Jackass number 5?
I did all of them. I did Jackass 5. So I've actually thought that this would be like a cool kind of business plan moving forward because sometimes some companies will pay you for the domain.
Yes.
Whereas like, I think you could make some moolah if like you follow the trends of what movies are allegedly going to get made. Mm-hmm. So if you hear that like, Temptation of the Mic is going to get made. I don't know what the fuck that is, but Park, temptationofthemic.com, because then they're going to want the domain.
It's Mike Zapsik's Oscar-winning performance. That's what that is.
It's either that
Temptation of the Mic.
It's either
it's
that.
the podcasting drama we've all wanted.
It's either that or a Tyler Perry movie. There's no in between. There's no in between.
In the perfect world, it's both.
I mean, Tyler Perry directing a movie where Mike Zapsik is nailed up to a cross with a crown of thorns.
Oh my God.
I definitely took a girl to go
featuring Ming Chen as Pontius Pilate.
I definitely took a girl to go see Tyler Perry's Temptation. It was hilarious. It was great.
It was a first date, was it?
It absolutely was.
It was the last one, too, wasn't it? There was no second date.
Fuck. I'm sure there was.
We're going to get into that in a second. You don't even remember. Wow, that's impressive.
No, but I've always thought that could be kind of a smart move.
Well, and also parking handles. I mean, that's why my Instagram handle is Chris.Aballo, because some bot took Chris Aballo, and even though I reported multiple times and many people reported it on my behalf, Instagram did absolutely nothing about it. So I was like, okay, it's Chris.Aballo instead. So Chris Aballo is an empty profile with a picture of Chris Hemsworth.
I'm
for
very
no
lucky
reason.
that Arcade Productions was available, because Arcade Productions is a domain.
Well, did you park Jackass 5 on TikTok and Instagram? You better get on that shit. It's parked now. By the time you see this, Christian will have them all. Yeah,
no, I think that, like, when it comes to all that kind of things, it's just another way to possibly make money.
There was a couple of years ago, I'd advised a couple of friends. I said, because from having my own .com since, when did I buy it? I think maybe 2012, even though I didn't launch Cape till 2013. A dozen years of Cape, by the way. But I remember saying to my friends, you should buy your name.com just so it's taken. Like, just buy the domain. You need to build a website, but like at least buy the .com for $12.99 a year or whatever, just so your name doesn't get, particularly people with unique names. With this guy has one.
Oh, I bought U-Goboy. I bought it immediately.
Yeah,
I bought it. Yeah, trademarked.
But I mean, your legal name, just to make sure it's taken care of. Because I said somebody could, and they could put anything.
I missed the boat on Arcade Productions.
Oh,
and I saw that it was for sale for $6,000.
What's funny? I still own theonlypodcast.com, and the value of that just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. Because obviously a lot of people want that.
Keep that in your back pocket.
Well, I mean, it still is. It forwards to my website now because there's nothing to see. I mean, that show's been gone now for 8 years. So, I mean, and the best ofs are available wherever you get your podcast. Wherever you're listening to this, if you're listening, the audio, it's an audio-only show, so it's available. But
call me Paramount.
But like, yeah, theonlypodcast.com, that has gone up and up and up and up. And I've seen how many requests there are to buy that. And I'm like, wow. But just to make sure, like, for legal person, like, there are people like the aforementioned Mike Zapsik. Like, he has, but even on TikTok, has it parked. He's never going to use it.
Yeah.
Because I saw, like, it was suggested. I'm like, did you create a TikTok? And he was like, I just parked it because I'm not going to use it. I want to make sure it's not taken. I'm like, smart. Because I should have done that with Instagram. I stuck with Chris Sells Out way too long. But I mean, I was still living in California. So I mean, this is 7-8 years ago or more, maybe like 2016. Somebody took Chris Aballo as a handle on. What, are you going to look it up?
Yeah, now I'm curious not Zapsik.
Mine or yours?
No, mine.
Oh, okay. You going to look up ChristianCordes.com?
Well, no, because on Instagram I had to put an underscore under mine. So I forgot if that was just by choice or if that was like,
oh, well,
you have to do
live reaction, everybody. We're going to find out.
I had to do that on Twitter for U-Goboy. I did.
Yeah.
But the hyphen or whatever, I made sure when I trademarked it. I was like, the lawyer just told me, just make sure it's all in caps. Just make sure it's all in caps, and you'll own all the stuff. So that's what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even before I did the LLC, which I got to update the address, by the way.
Oh, funnily enough, I actually need to update mine as well. I realized that. I was like, oh, shit. Yeah. I went to renew my car insurance, and then I was just like, wait a minute, did I update my LLC or something? And I was like, I was going through, I'm like, did I update this? Because like, I forget it wasn't I think it was maybe the billing address was still my previous address. Yeah. And then but the address where the car is parked was my current address. So I guess I didn't change both, or I didn't click something to make them both the same address. And I was like, oh, and then I was like, ooh, my LLC, my mail's being forwarded. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, I need to change it, which is a whole form. Yeah. Thankfully, you do that shit online. Anyway, what do you do? You got to tap on which one of these is a motorcycle?
Yeah, no,
crosswalks. Okay.
Oh my God, you made me think it was the motorcycle.
This is Skynet. Skynet is making.
I love that. We need to make sure you're not a robot, motherfucker. You're a robot.
Exactly.
Like a robot is telling me. Like, we need to make sure you're not a robot.
I love how ridiculous these get sometimes with buses.
You got to click 8 boxes.
No, to the fucking.
That includes, yeah. All right, is it verify?
Finally, okay.
Damn.
My favorite,
Literally, you had to
my
check
favorite one is the one with bicycles.
Yeah, Christian Cortez is already registered because there are actually a couple of Christian Cortezes.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
There are multiple Christian Cortezes.
I think.
Did I ever tell you that story?
What?
There's a whole bunch of Christian Cortezes on Facebook, and one day I just decided to add them all to a group chat, and I messaged him. I was like, "Yo, we gotta rise up." We've been oppressed for far too long.
No, like block.
Block.
I watched.
His only notifications were Christian Cortez has left the chat. Christian Cortez has left the chat. Christian Cortez has left the chat.
And then
It's like 8 dudes.
One from Norway was like, "I'm in." I think that chat went on for like a couple of years just in the background.
That is so
But
funny.
occasionally I would get the notification Christian Cortez has left the chat, and I would wonder what the fuck was that from? Oh, when I tried to raise an army.
So years and years and years and years ago, I'm saying like in the 2000s, like not even the 2010s, in the 2000s, I think it may have been on YouTube, and I'm being dead serious. It may have been a video on MySpace even, but somebody sent me. It was a video of a sharpshooter named Chris Aballo, spelled with 1 L. And I remember saying I should get him on the show and interview him. Like when I started doing Cape, I was like, that'd be fucking hilarious. I should get him on and like talk to Chris Aballo.
Not too late.
It's not too late. I thought about it during COVID because I'm like, everyone's bored and everyone's home. We could probably make it happen.
DM that man.
And I was like,
that'd be so fun to.
That'd be hilarious.
Oh my god, I should reignite that group chat and be like, who wants to be interviewed? I'm a Christian Cortez who does interviews. I want to interview another Christian Cortez. What's your life like, man? What do you want?
You got to reach out that Norwegian cat.
Yeah, the one
there's
who was
no
so
way
down.
you do. Yeah, exactly.
He's in.
No way you do.
He's been waiting for that callback.
Yeah.
He's been waiting.
You know what was weird too was when
Arcade Productions presents An Army of Two. It's like one's a fisherman, the other's a filmmaker. Anyway.
It was weird though when you did search my name on Google for a while, an obituary came up because there was one that passed away. That like
Wow.
it threw me off. Imagine
Eerie.
Googling myself and you see that. But he was based out of I think like Massachusetts or something. He was like in
No, so it
like,
wasn't
80s.
you? Were you reassured? Like, oh,
Yeah,
good, it's not me. Because you're like, is this a Sixth Sense? What happened?
For real, but like it was eerie for a long time. But now it's literally like, oh, it's all the interviews. It's like Cape stuff comes up now. It's like,
Oh, I'm sure.
This is so cool.
Actually, that was brought to my attention. I don't use Spotify for my streaming, but you can actually, if you open up your Spotify app and you go to Cape, an episode that mentions you can click on Christian Cortez and all your music shows up and like you as an artist come up.
Really?
Do you have Spotify on your phone?
Yeah, but I didn't know.
I'm gonna have to insert a photo of this so people watching can see it. But yeah, if you go to Spotify and you go to just look up Chris Aballo's podcast experiment. Obviously, you can't.
Chris Aballo podcast.
I gotta do this.
You spell my name wrong.
I gotta do this now.
Yeah, I think U-Goboy does come up. But I was looking, I'm like, oh wow, actually everything that you're tagged in pops up in like you're a search term.
Really?
And I'm like,
shit,
that's
yeah.
fucking wild. Yeah. Now click Christian Cortez.
Wow. Okay.
And look, your verified artist profile comes up top.
Yeah.
And your original music and your podcast appearances. And I'm like, that's wild.
Whoa. Holy shit.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Skynet.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's great because you can actually find somebody.
Look,
like
Christian Cortez, Northern Germany. That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's not me.
co-working with Christian Cortez.
That's so funny.
Leipzig Decor 2017. Oh my gosh, it's Die in Christian Cortez. It means the Christian Cortez.
Yeah.
Wait.
Like Die Muppets.
Yeah.
Chris
I get two words. Does it should be, well, you were in the filmmaking special, the Black Friday special. I mean, you've been in enough shows, like you must pop up as an artist.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's weird. How does that happen? Okay, so like the Black Friday special last year, only Letty pops up.
Wow.
Did I not mention your names in full? Do I not mention Christian Cortez and U-Goboy?
Comics, cartoons, and craft.
Oh, I say
beers.
Christian and Ugo. Yeah.
Oh, Chris Cortez.
That's
weird.
crazy.
That's wild.
So there you go. You can find other Christian Cortezes on Spotify.
For this, yeah.
Yeah. But I was like, that's actually kind of cool. So somebody can find, like Chris Mad, same thing. Goes to a Chris and Page comes up and a bunch of episodes Chris has been on of Cape and other people's podcasts. I'm like, that's awesome.
That's
so actually that was pointed out to me because again, I don't use Spotify for my streaming, but I was told about that. I was like, let me check this shit out. And not everybody. So I may have to go back and like update episode descriptions so the artists come up. I just hit the button to drop down the chair height again. Fix that. Like comedically. Yeah, I feel myself shrinking. But all right, that's enough.
I was looking at Zapsik.
You're Mike Zapsik.
Cool.
He's been on thousands of shows. Are you kidding? Mike's been on so many podcasts.
The doom scroll just happens.
Wow. I didn't know that they did that. That's so dope.
Speaking of doom scrolling,
Skynet.
let's move on to online dating. Now,
please.
Ugo's on the dating apps.
Yeah.
I am not because I can't say I've heard no good stories. I've mostly heard terrible stories. And I do know somebody who met his now wife on Tinder, but this is like 9 years ago.
Tinder's nuts.
That happened turned into. Well, I mean, this I don't know when Tinder launched, and I've never been on it. Like I was on dating sites when they were sites before they were apps.
Planet,
10 years ago or
Black
whatever.
Planet. Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't on that one.
eHarmony.com.
No, I wasn't on that one. Yeah. Like I had friends that did eHarmony and Match because they were looking for a spouse.
Yes. I had a friend use Match and she found her husband on there.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, but that's fine. Everybody's going in for, if you're long-term minded or partner minded, that's fine. I just went on dating apps. That's where I was.
Yeah.
So and even those had like mixed results, but that's, I mean, again, we're 10 years ago now.
So what do you want to know? What do you want to know about?
Well, we've talked a lot about dates, and you've shared some stuff with me.
I could read some of the freaking hard because I screenshot some of.
I mean, please do. That's one of the things that puts me off apps because I think I've told the story before, like years ago though, so it's worth repeating. But there was somebody on these dating sites. So this is 2014, 15, something like that, and she actually had screenshots of messages guys sent her on her Facebook. Now, I always thought it was weird when people put their Facebook, their Instagram, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, they just want followers. I feel like they're on these dating sites because they want people to follow them. But this one woman who came up in my search, I was reading her profile. I was like, okay, cool. And if people did have their social media links in the description, I would check out the social media because you're going to get more of a picture of somebody. Yeah. I mean, as much as social media is curated by the person, and we all do it, of course, but you're going to get more of a picture of that actual person than you would from a dating profile.
Yeah.
And I went to this one woman's Facebook page and she literally had screenshots of like DMs that she was sharing to her friends. And I'm like, I'm not sending her a DM, but that actually did like put me off. I'm like,
but were they like weird DMs though?
Yeah.
Because that's the justification.
But a lot of them were like, you could tell guys just kind of being, I mean, stuff that was benign, I think. It wasn't like, I mean, creepy stuff, she definitely posted. But stuff that wasn't creepy, but maybe wasn't smooth. Like the dude didn't have game. Dude wasn't flirty or maybe didn't know how to, cold message somebody.
The kids call it Riz.
Into that, yeah, exactly. Guy who didn't have, is that what it is? Okay, I'm aged out. Okay. Guy who didn't have Riz. That's a drop. We don't use drops on the show.
No, you leave the drops to me.
No, that's okay.
You don't have that world.
Well, that was a P.S., a bonus of doing remote shows.
Yes,
anyway, because there is a soundboard, I've just never used it. So, anyway.
Black Friday episode, we're bringing the soundboard. There you go. Yeah.
If you want to program a soundboard, you do that.
Don DeMarco.
Marco.
If you bring the U-Goboy soundboard, that'd actually be really funny. And if who expressed interest in being on the show is on, they're just going to be like, "What the fuck was that?" That would actually be very entertaining.
That's the point.
That'd be very entertaining.
That's the point.
So I mean, but that's what I'm saying. She wasn't just posting creeps; she was posting all sorts of screenshots. And I'm thinking, why would you let guys know? Like here's my Facebook page, and then you can go and see that she's sharing like not friends only, where publicly you can't see it. Like people who weren't her friends, aka the public, could see these screenshots of these DMs these guys sent, and it's like that's fucked up.
She wanted them to be seen. Like anybody that puts screenshots of DMs or text messages or that kind of stuff, they want them to be viewed by as many people as possible.
Yeah.
Because it's another, hey, look at me, that you can add to your algorithm so they can be viewed.
This is how little I care about online dating. If I were to see that in profile, I'd be like, yo, what do I got to say to get on the Wall of Fame? Like, fucking, like,
well, that's good.
Like, I feel you. I'm at the same place with it. Like in one of my group chats, because I love group chats. Group chats are amazing. Like I make sure that there's one for food, there's one for dating, there's one for friends, there's one for close friends, and like so there's this one that I'm in with. Literally, it's like we're like the cast of Living Single. It's hilarious. It's like you got 2 girls.
It's 4 black women.
No. You got 2 girls, 3 guys. We're all different shades and colors and so forth. You know what I mean? Everybody's from New York and New Jersey. It's great. It's great. You love to see it. We're all POCs. And that's also great. And but we were talking about this yesterday about how, our experience with like online dating. And I had to throw my 2 cents in, and I'm just like, I hate the fact that like it's gotten toxic because there's no regulation on what people choose to watch or what they choose to consume. What people consume is what's driving the toxicity. And
100%.
I'll explain. So you have this fight of like guys ain't shit and women are gold diggers. You know what I mean? Or
yes.
You know what I mean? Or high value or whatever red pill verbiage you want to use. Like that's been the driving force for really like the last 3 to 5 years, everything post-COVID has been that.
Definitely
right?
the last 3 years.
Yes.
Like since people have been back out in the world fully, yes, 100%.
Absolutely. So
even during COVID, come to think of it. Like that's when everybody started a YouTube channel and a podcast. So yeah. So it's been the last 3 to 5 years.
Okay, ain't shit guys and gold digging women have always existed. The only thing that social media and podcasts have all they've done is magnified, exacerbated, highlighted them, and like basically put it in your face 24/7 as you doom scroll. So you already know these things exist, but it's daily reinforced. Guys ain't shit. Women are gold diggers. Guys ain't shit. Women are gold diggers. Like you're doom scrolling and that's all you see, especially when you put in your algorithm. So it's driving up and it's heightening it more. So my thing with, I hate this. I absolutely hate this. I hate the fact that a number of times I've matched with a girl on Hinge, and it's promising. Like, okay, we're vibing. It's not to the point where we're going to meet up for a date, but it's a vibe. And then the conversation on her end slowly morphs into a dating podcast script, and I'm just like, I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm out. Like, because you think you believe you're Skynet now.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not taking crazy pills. You're talking like the last episode of the podcast you watched, and that's not true.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know me. You're trying to get to know me.
Right.
But you have this idea of what I am based on what you've listened to or watched, and it's just not. I'm not going to fight that. Yeah. I'm not going to battle that because there's no. I don't get anything out of that. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, and I've lost interest, and I'm matching. And if you ask me the reason, Tinge, I'm just like, yeah, no reason.
Yeah.
No reason. You know what I mean? So, but I can read you guys because I sent this to Aballo.
Yeah, well,
so
that's why I said, dude, do you want to talk about this? Because
Christian, you're gonna love this, but Aballo has seen this, so I'm gonna read this. This is from a girl. I'm not gonna say her name, obviously.
Of course.
I matched with her. This was August 23rd, I believe. This was a couple weeks ago. So we matched, and I was like, really like your pics. You have a great smile. I got Riz, kids. I got Riz. Yeah. Do I get a prize? That was her response. Do I get a prize? And I'm just like,
oh wait, let's read it. Should I be the chick?
Okay, you can be the chick.
I'll be the chick.
You be the chick.
Go ahead, you be you.
Okay. Really like your pics. Have a great smile.
Do I get a prize?
Oh my good God.
The voice.
Shut up.
The voice.
That's how she sounds in our heads. We all know it.
I was wearing headphones, so it just went right into my fucking ear, and I was like, mm-mm.
And then right into your chest. You're like, oh.
This is brought to you by Hinge.
I know this chick.
And Hinge Plus.
Fucking, yeah.
Cringe. All right. So my response, ha. What do you have in mind?
You tell me.
I need more research to work with. Smiley face.
You can start with a bouquet of flowers.
What the fuck is that?
Ranunculus?
I
don't know. It must be a brand.
The type of flower.
It's something from Alien Earth.
Okay.
And roses.
Ranunculus?
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous and roses.
Ranunculus.
I don't know what that is.
I think that's a brand.
Yeah, that's a kind of flower.
I do know this is a real. I mean, we've established that.
Okay, so from the top.
Okay, well, sorry.
So I need more research to work with. Smiley face.
You can start with a bouquet of flowers. Ranunculus and roses.
Okay. How do you like to reward guys who deliver prizes? Eyes emojis.
By thanking them.
And then I am matched.
Yeah.
In that order.
Yeah.
I imagine.
Now, but so much of this is driven by, and look, I see this. This isn't stuff I search for, and it still pops up for me on the apps because I feel like it's just. I don't think it's that it's in your algorithm. It's that it gets put into your feed because so many people have engaged with it.
Well, that's
so I feel like that's so much of it. But there's so many women. Just real quick. There's so many women who. They will film themselves calling guys, and whether it's real or not, obviously it's what everybody expects. So everything's a bit. Oh, everything was, it's a script, whatever. Yeah. But it's like, yeah. And it's this one calling, it'll be like women calling guys. It's like, so you hit me up on Hinge, let's say, and you want to take me for a drink. So like, why don't you bless my Cash App so I can get my nails done and stuff like that. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, well, if I want to look good for you, if you want to take me for a drink, like, why don't you send me some money? He's like, I'm not sending you any, like, $100 to get your nails done. Like, women will straight up say, like, send me $100. And yeah, honestly, when as somebody who's not on the apps, but will approach women at a bar or something like that, like, if a woman right away is just like, well, buy me a drink, then it's like, I'm not paying a toll to talk to you. Like, what the fuck is that? That's what it is. You have to pay a toll. If you want to talk to me, if you want to meet me in person like that, no, nobody should do that. That's fucked up. Like the idea, like, oh, I should spend money on you, and like we talked about this on an episode of your show.
We did.
About some of the craziness.
The guy talk episode.
I will link that in the bottom because that was an enlightening chat, especially for the guy who joined us, who's married.
By the way, you see how engaged I am in this conversation? Only because I'm just like, it's all bullshit. I've leaned. Do you want to know honestly? Like, I've leaned into the meme of it. Like my profile is not serious at all. Like, and
you're on dating apps?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm on like I was on Tinder for a hot second, but I took that down just because I was like, this isn't it.
Is on Hinge?
Yeah, I was on Hinge too, but even my Hinge was a joke profile too. Like I would literally like.
Can we link to your dating profile in the episode description?
Here's the fucked up thing about it. Not fucked up, but it's hilarious. You can leave audio recordings.
Yeah, they just added.
So, you do voice notes.
So I was like, "Hi, welcome to my Hinge profile. If you like it so far, listen to some of this great jazzy music." I didn't make it.
That's
but
funny.
I found it. Yeah.
I love it.
That's funny.
But
you know what though? That's actually your personality shining through.
Yeah, but like,
and you're not taking it seriously.
That's not me taking it seriously anymore. Just because I've also entered this space where I'm like, you know what? This is who I am. Like, I'm not really gonna compromise that for somebody.
100%.
Like, of course, like I'll meet people on their level, but at the same time, I'm not gonna feel ashamed for what I love to do. I'm an artist. I'm a weirdo. That's all the things. I'm not saying, yeah, exactly. Like, in one of them,
literally,
you want to know what something? I actually used that photo of me and Scooter as a joke, just to see, like, let's see who fucking actually gives
Let's see who matches with me.
And I actually got matches. I actually met fellow oddballs who were like, "Yo, what's up? I like your fucking I like your picture." Like,
but I mean, that is something. That is.
I love it.
But like, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, I'm not playing games with it, which is, listen, I'm not pursuing and I'm not like doing anything right now. It's just more or less like I'm just focused on what I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
Well, and that's it. That's why I haven't spent time on it, because hearing from. And that's such a microcosm of your experiences, but like that's so much of what I've heard.
How much time do we have?
But from women as well. We've been here long enough. Plenty of time. But from women as well, just the games and the idea of like you need to get through so much to even meet up with somebody. I'm like, I don't have time for that. The idea of like, checking who you match with or reading messages and interact, and just the amount of time it takes to get to a point where actually meeting with somebody in person. I'm like, I don't have time like that. And at the same time, I'm not putting myself up on a pedestal. I'm not saying that, like, a woman has to be worthy of me or something like that. But as somebody who's fine in his own company and is fine being single, someone like that, and I'm certainly not the only one. There are women like that too. But it's like someone like that, you can't fuck with them because they are not afraid to not be with somebody. They are not seeking your approval. Like, you need to be better than their time they spend on their own, or the time they spend with their passions, or the time they spend in their work, or whatever it is. And spending all of the time I see people spend on dating apps, and even all the advice, and again, the videos, all that stuff that ends up in everybody's feed as far as how you should navigate dating apps. I'm like, this is like a part-time job. Like, I don't have time for this. I'd rather meet somebody in the wild see somebody and approach them.
That's kind of the weird echo chamber that I've found myself in, though. Is like, I'm not gonna like you've said it really well. It was the idea of like I'm comfortable with this, but then I will meet people who are in the same kind of mindset. And I'll admit, like I don't actively text. I'm a phone call person. Like I prefer that. So I try to have engaging, fun, even silly conversations. But then it's not that it's not reciprocal as much as it is just, oh, you're an artist too, so like your response time is just as abysmal as mine is. so like
that should be an aphrodisiac at this point. Yeah, like, I think so. I mean, no,
you're inconsistent like me.
No, you're so
that's hot.
Scorching.
Literally,
like you make me wait 5 days for a response.
Literally matched with somebody, and we were vibing very well, and then like it just radio silence on both of our ends, and then just shit started hitting the fan with me towards the top of the summer, and I literally was just like, hey, listen. This ain't it right now. Like, no offense. Like, you're cool people, but like. I can't believe I'm actually saying this. I'm going to give you an out.
Message.
Yeah. And it like, this is where I'm at.
He said he was giving me the out.
It's the voice for me.
It's the gender swap version of the out.
No, it's funny with that.
I still think that should be made. Anyway,
it should be. No, it's funny with that.
We did it right the first time. We're good.
So what the three of us have in common, because we're I want to say roughly the same age. I want to say
handsome eligible bachelors. Is that what you're going to say?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so.
The Bachelor now streaming on Hulu. No, so it's like I'm still 1,000,000,000% an in-person at a bar or at a group or at a social circle or a gathering. I'll pick that 1,000 times out of 1,000 times or whatever. The thing with these apps that I've quickly learned is it's a money grab. Because even with Hinge, like if you want the maximum experience and whatnot, you got to pay the super Uber Netflix like subscription.
What is it out now? How much is it? It's monthly, right?
It's monthly, and it's not cheap. It's like
how much is it?
It's like 30. Like depending on what tier, we're talking like $39.99 a month.
Really?
We're talking like $69.99.
But that's guaranteeing that you get seen like when you open the app.
You get maximum exposure, unlimited swipes.
Right.
Like it's basically a black card. You're gonna get matched and you're gonna get dates.
But I mean, that is targeted at men because men get so many less interaction than women do. I mean, that's been every single study over the years has said that. Like, the amount of women who get responses. Like, there have been tests that they've done where they've taken different women with different levels of objective attractiveness, and even the one on a lower scale who could be completely like doctored photo. Like they haven't used actual like photos. They've just had to obviously Photoshop or Facetune them to make them look worse than they actually are. And even they got like 40 times the messages that a guy who's considered handsome or a guy considered above average attractive would get on those apps.
Well, the women
men
they're doing it too, though.
Oh, I'm sure
they're getting, but you're right.
But I think it's more for guys because guys are getting less engagement. Period.
Yes,
and for the sake of even getting seen, of course,
That's by design. And it's like so I'm not gonna say who it is, but I know an individual who has like his settings are like at max, and he like complete horn dog. Like his objective is to just. To be Wilt Chamberlain and on every level and yada yada yada.
Hit and run.
Yes, literally. And it's just like and my thing is like I'm not in the headspace. I don't operate like that. I don't need it like that. And on top of that, I'm at the point in life where it's like I want that genuine connection. I want that partnership, but at the same time, like my career, my purpose, the things that bring me fulfillment, my path, like my journey, you know what I mean? It's like, that's going to come when it's supposed to come. Like, I got to make sure that this is straight first. I'm my best version before I even venture down that. Yeah. Because I think that's a big pitfall when you immerse yourself, and family doesn't help either, especially like if you've got, it doesn't. When you've got the pressures of parents or aunts or uncles, whatever, like, yo, so-and-so got, when are you? When? I went to Nigeria in June. And it's like me and my brother are getting railed. Neither of us are married. Neither of us have kids. We're both over 30. You know what I mean? So it's just like...
so you're just getting beaten up.
So we're just left and right. When?
You ever going to get married? Gramps?
And it's just like, I don't want to do that right now.
Right.
And on top of that, it's it's my life.
Right.
But you have way more tolerance than I would, man. I'd be like, probably after we put you in the ground.
Honestly, I'm lucky in that sense, and I think I mentioned this 2 years ago. My parents were on the show. Like, thankfully, they never put pressure on me to get married, to give them grandchildren, none of that stuff. And I know I'm in the vast minority in that regard. Almost all of my friends who are married and have kids receive pressure from their parents to give them grandkids.
Yes.
And when are you going to get married? When are you going to buy a house? When you got all of that stuff? And I know that plays into so many people's lives and influences them. And that's my theory, although there's probably some psychological studies that back it up. But I feel like that's a big driver of the midlife crisis. People who don't feel like they are making the important decisions in their lives. Because there are many people who I know of who got married because their partner was ready to get married, not because they were necessarily ready to get married, or bought a house because their parents told them, well, if you're renting, you're throwing your money away, so just buy a house instead. Like, I can point to many people in my life who was just like, I don't know about having, I mean, I don't feel like it's time for kids yet, but like, if not now, when? Like, people were kind of passive about it and maybe weren't ready. And maybe I take those things too seriously. I mean, I could have been married multiple times, could have had kids multiple times. Have had several long-term relationships in my adult life. And I know looking back, would have been wrong every single time. Like, there was something about it that I just said, no, this isn't right. And if I had that external pressure, and there were times I had there was a girlfriend I had years ago who was, she was 2 years younger than me. We were still in our 20s. And because all her friends were getting married, she turned around and said, even though there was it wasn't on her radar, she wanted to travel, like she wanted to see other parts of the world. She wanted to go to, to the Caribbean and, go on cruises and all that stuff. And then once her friends started getting engaged and getting married during the course of our relationship, it became, I want to be married and have a kid by the time I'm 30. And I'm like, okay, no, the terms have changed now drastically. Like, this is no longer... And she was basically saying, like, you need to get on board with this. And I'm like, I'm not. Like, I don't want to get married. Our relationship was rocky anyway, but I'm like, I don't want to get married and have a kid and like do all that stuff. Like, and at the same time, like, this was after I moved back from California and was back living with my parents before I, moved out again. But I'm like, we're both living at home. Like, I'm working full time. Like, I have a consistent income, but she was working part time. And I'm like, wouldn't maybe being settled into your career? She was going to school for her career. So like, wouldn't it be getting settled into a career, like all those things, or like getting your own place, even if it was, like renting or us living together? Shouldn't those things be like time oriented? And she just wasn't hearing any of it. Yeah. It just became a fight. And I'm like, see, this isn't the right thing to do. And I'm happy about it.
There's reason behind that. But Christian, you had a point. You were trying to jump in, tag in?
No, there was a point. But at the same time, it was more like that. I understand that initial, like, oh, your friends know, like, oh, their parents are going to pressure them for the grandkids and all that type of stuff. Yeah. Because for a long time, that was just kind of all people knew.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, that
was what you did. That was what generations did.
That was the norm. That was the 9 to 5 norm.
9 to 5, get married, have kids,
that was
get retired.
But now things have changed so drastically. Like, not just in a monetary sense, just in the shape of the world, like just in general. Like,
life is completely different for us than it is for our parents. I see.
Even looking at my own parents, my dad felt bad for having me, like, because he looked at the current state of the world and was like, "Fuck, why? What did I do?" Like, he was happy I was there, but like, it was the examination of like, there's so much bullshit.
Right.
Like, did I deserve to do that to somebody else? And that kind of that's the retrospective I'm talking about. That was the final album. But like, the
1998 album.
Yeah.
I always hesitated to bring that up because I didn't know like what that, because I was like, that's
people
heavy.
People hear that and they're like, he regrets having children. No, the world was shit. He loved us. Like,
that's
he wanted us.
Like,
my dad wanted to be a dad. Same with me. But I know that where I'm at, like, to bring a kid into this, like, where I'm at as a filmmaker, and I want to be settled. Like, I want, like, again, like how I want to be comfortable in my art. Like, I want to be stationary.
You want your life to be at a certain level before you consider having. But that's just practical.
My dad had me at 25.
Yeah.
When he was 25, that blew my mind when I found that out. I was like, but I know it was vastly different circumstances.
So many different.
My dad had
so many.
My dad had his deals; they were all there.
I mean, it was a different world completely 30 years ago. I
But
mean,
even then, he still was like, well, "Shit."
Yeah,
What
this one.
Yeah.
No, it's like so. It's the point I was. It just came to me. It's like with that going off of that, when a guy wants to put his foot down and be like, okay, this is what I'm about to do. Like this is how I'm going to lay it out. I'm going to get married. Yada yada yada. We operate differently than women in that sense. With women, and especially if a woman wants to have kids.
Right. There's a biological pressure, which is very real. We're not discounting that at all.
Very real. Which is very real, and you can't
understood.
You can't overlook that. You can't just like gloss over that, turn the page on that, or this, that, and the third.
Right.
With us though, it's like we're much more concerned about like the more practical things in terms of like, all right, am I firm? Is my job straight? Is my money straight? Is my outlook on my career? Are my ducks in a row? Are they actually like firm enough before I bring in another kid? Because that's, of course, it's a life, but of course the cost of that as well. We're thinking about from a provider standpoint. Like a billion%. And not to say that women can't be providers, that they're not. What I'm saying is the way that the way it's set up and structured, or this, that, and the third, is that it's still the majority, the mindset of like the whole masculine versus feminine. It's just like, yo, that's our job. That's our job.
But it is a yin and yang element to it, where it's like they're wired for two things. But that's any partnership. Two people can't be wired the same way, because then it doesn't work. Then they butt heads.
There are filmmakers I know, independent filmmakers, mind you, that have children, multiple, and I wonder, like, I'm like, how do you make that happen? Like, I mean, obvious, but I mean, literally, like making that work in the truest sense.
I know. I just like the momentary wink of just like, how do you make that happen? Obvious, but no.
I had to. Come on,
I know. I had to acknowledge it just because it was so goddamn funny.
Continue, please.
It's so goddamn funny.
But no, like especially because I know that these guys aren't doing like. They're not working on Law and Order. They're not working on these fucking TV shows that are the consistent jobs. But those jobs are even so limited. Like, I only bring up Law and Order because Law and Order is an example of a show that is such a staple that if I got hired onto that show in like a bigger capacity, I would feel comfortable being like, okay, maybe I could settle down because I know that show ain't going away.
Working on The Simpsons.
It's not going away. It's in syndication. Like that's something that which is rarefied air now. I mean, but even the idea, it's interesting looking at it from because like my dad is the youngest of 10. My mother's the youngest of 3. But there's a branch of my dad's side of the family where for the second cousins, the oldest second cousin, well, like, would they be? No. Yeah, I think so. I think the oldest second cousins across the Aballo side of the family, I believe, are only 2 years younger than me. They were born like a week or two apart. I don't remember. I know they were born in April. I was born in October. So we were like 2.5 years apart. And of that particular branch of the family, my second cousins, only 2 of them are married. No, I'm sorry, 3. One just got married. Out of a dozen, I think. I'm trying to think, and I should know offhand, but because I'm doing this extemporaneously, but they're
changed.
Yeah.
Well, it has, but at the same time, like even for their parents, and that's why I identify with them also being closer in age because our life experience is more similar because they're also elder millennials as the phrasing has become, but they're like, and even those who are in relationships are like, we're good where we are. Like there was one cousin who's been with his girlfriend for years. I mean, over 10 years. And they're just happy the way they are. Not in a rush to get married, not in a rush to have kids, none of that stuff. They both work, but like they're happy with their life. So they're not trying to change it that much. There's not the priority or that incentive to get married. Like they have a house, they live together, all that stuff. And there's more of that idea of among, cousins, again, in their early 40s and in their mid to late 30s, where they're like, no, things are fine. There is no rush to get married. There is no rush to have kids. By the way, it's a steeper uphill climb now than it was 30 years ago, as troublesome as the world may have been to your father 30 years ago.
20.
Oh, of course. 20 years ago was completely different. Yeah.
No, but I'll take it a step further. Like, there's a saying, tell me who your friends are, I'll tell you who you are. That as well. Like, you're like, you think about your closest friends. Think about if you were to get married, your groomsmen. All right, like line up your top 5 or your top 6 or 7 or 8, whatever. Your core, your day ones or whatever. Mm-hmm. I would think about mine. One of them's married. One of them. And, like, and
holy shit.
Ironically enough, exactly. It makes you think. It's a mind fuck. I know. Like, and take a step further. He's like my best friend. He's Red Man and Method Man. Like literally. Like we're like that's like my guy. And what's wild is. Like
you know who Red Man and Method Man are? Why were you just looking at you're staring down the camera?
He presented a really wild point. Like,
okay.
Nobody in my
okay, so you were deep in thought.
Yeah, literally.
I was like, how did that reference get lost on you? That was such a like when you turned your head
sorry.
like
it's the same
because you're having a listen. You're making a great point, but literally I got lost in that thought.
But no, okay. I thought you were reacting to that. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's something
like
to think
you
about.
just saw Wu-Tang's last show. You were fucking there.
Yeah,
which is wild.
Almost died.
Not just that, hilarious. Not just that, but think like I explained this. I think one time I explained this to like my dad or my mom. It's just like, yo, poor people don't hang out with rich people. What the fuck are they gonna have to talk about in common? And vice versa. Rich people, they're not. The rich
they're not going anywhere near us.
Warren Buffett is not going to Popeyes on freaking Harlem, sitting down and sparking up a conversation with Reggie from the corner or whatever. Like they're not gonna be
not cool. Rich people,
not cool. Maybe Mark Cuban, maybe. But or a freaking gentry.
No, there are exceptions to the rule.
There are outliers, of course, anything. But what I'm saying is, like birds of a feather, like that is very real. So it's like, so with that being said, like it's a reflection of where your mind is, where you are in life. Like we were joking about, of course, during the pre-pod, the 5-hour pre-pod. Like I invited like a bunch of my closest best friends to the watch party. I invited you too, but he couldn't make it. This guy over here. We did a watch party for what lives here in my basement, and I'm sitting around, and I'm just like, two people here are married. Two. It's probably like 12 people here. You know what I mean? Like, and these are the closest friends like that I have and whatnot. And it's like that's a representation of where your mind is, where your heart is, where you are career wise, where you are income wise. All of that tracks. All of that matters. Like, and it's even what's even more of a freaking Twilight Zone when my best friend invites me to like kids' birthday parties. Or like couple stuff or this, that, and the third, and I show up, it's Truman Show. I'm sitting around, I'm just like, wow. Let me get a plate of something.
Does it make you want to get snipped? I mean, and I'm again, most of my friends have kids and are married, but I'm around and I'm like, this looks exhausting. I gotta go. Like I'm tired watching you parent your kids.
I don't stay.
And that's what I'm saying. But at the same time, and. You know, people think, number one, you're an asshole, or number two, like, parenting is hard. I don't recommend it. We have friends who've said that. But at the same time, but I know myself that well. I know. And again, it's just self-awareness, from therapy or from just, surviving difficult times in my life or whatever. But it's like, I know that I'm not up for that. I know that looks tiring. So I'm not knocking anybody up. That's it. Like, it informs how I operate, which is part of what self-awareness is supposed to do, and that's kind of where I'm at, where I'm like, okay, looking at that day in, day out. And look, we were talking about it at dinner, went to dinner before the show. And I was saying I've had 2 of my long-term relationships. I lived with the women, and needless to say, neither one of them worked out. But after the second time, my last serious relationship, I had to really dig into like, the day in, day out. I don't know if I'm up for that. I don't know if I'm going to get married. I'm not saying it's completely off the table because it's a cliche for a reason. Never say never. I'm not saying that, but like just that, it's difficult. And by the way, married people will tell you that. Ask your parents. Exactly. And I'm not saying my parents have put that out there, but like anybody who's been married for decades will say it's hard. the day in, day out, going to bed with her. I mean, even friends of mine, when I lived with one girlfriend when I first moved to California almost 20 years ago. And after that, like friends of mine who like were getting married or who were moving in with a girlfriend or whatever. And I'm just like, it's different. And they're like, yeah, but we know each other so well. I'm like, going to bed with somebody, waking up with the same person every day, it's different. It's a different dynamic. And pretty much all of them, I can't think of any who haven't, but I don't want to say all of them, like, for sure. But said like, no, you're right. It is definitely different. Like it is a different relationship when you live together. And I get that. And I don't know that I'm up for that. And it would take a lot. It's not impossible, but it would take a lot for me to be like, okay, I want to get married. Okay, I want to do this. Because I live alone and I'm fine with that right now. Like where I'm at in life, it suits me.
Like,
it's not necessarily going to be
up my Muppet collection.
No, but it's
fair.
Like I don't. Listen, I moved earlier in the year. I haven't really gotten into it on the show, and frankly, there's no reason to. But like my living situation changed, and after the end of my last relationship, I stayed in the place we were living. And just because I was already there, the place was already furnished, I was like, well, why move out? I'll just pay the full rent by myself. But I liked where I was living. I liked the space I was in. It was bigger than one person needs. And yeah, now I'm in a smaller space than I was living in. And this is only March that I moved into the apartment I'm in now. I went from floor of a house to an apartment, which is fine. And even that was getting like new furniture and all that stuff, furnishing a new place, even that felt different because, even though I've lived on my own and lived in places before and have my own furniture, like coming out of living in a place for almost 6 years, I lived in my last place, and it was with the same furniture. And it was a couple who moved in and then one person who moved out at the end.
It's a different energy.
It was completely different. Having my own furniture and being in a new place, it actually was like, it was more of a fresh start than I expected. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And even living in an apartment again, because I was like, I don't know if I want to go back to living in an apartment and living in a building with 200 other people, and all that stuff. And I like it. I actually like being in an apartment building again, as opposed to being in a house. Like it's just a different dynamic, and I'm okay with it. Mm-hmm. And adults live in my place, not a whole lot of families. It's all studios and 1 bedroom and 2 bedrooms. So it's adults living there. So that's the other thing. But yeah, all of that kind of feeds into and kind of reinforces where I was already, where it's just like, no, I'm good with this. I'm good with having my own space. I'm good with not having somebody waiting on me when I come home. Like just knowing that that's where I'm at, because we do have a lot of mutual friends who are married. Yeah. And the idea of like, there's no one to check in with, no one who's waiting on you to come home, no one, and especially because, we're kind of windy. We do long shows. Certainly around here, meaning this show. It's like there's nobody to check in with. There's nobody like, when are you coming home? There's no, when are you doing this? Oh, can you pick this up? Or, whatever. Or like, oh, I got to be up in the morning to take care of this for this person. There isn't that. And I know it sounds like it comes from a selfish place, and it does on a certain level. But at the same time, it's like, that's what suits me right now. It's not going to be this way forever.
What were you trying to say about?
Well, I was going to say it was like, it's just kind of reinforcing my point. It's like, it's like, when you've been in a long-term relationship, what was your longest that you could think of offhand, like just life-wise? What's all-timer?
2.5 years.
2.5 years. Same.
Okay, but that's
Yours?
It was 5 years, just short of 5 years.
Mine was 2.5. It's typically it's typically, if you were to probably average it out, it'd probably be between 2 to 5 or 2 to 6, like in that range of like
same
a regular average, like, this is we're in it.
That's sorry, not to divert your point, but because it's related, that's shocking to people, because I consider a long-term relationship to be like 2 years plus, and I've had 4 of them in my adult life, and people are like, oh wow, that's a lot, and I'm like, well, yeah, but there were like 2 that were 2 years, there was one that was 3 years, and there was one that was almost 5 years, but it's like that's. Again, I learned, right, but it's like, I used to envy people who like married the person they dated in high school and then stayed together, and then that kind of got shattered. But because seeing how time, bore those things out. But it's like to me, like that's normal. Well, of course you have relationship experience with different people, or you grow, especially in your 20s. Yeah, like you change so much through the course of your 20s, and in some cases in your 30s. Like it's not weird that you could have had 2 significant relationships in your 20s, which I did.
I'll never forget this. I remember a conversation I had with one of my exes. And she was trying to be like, give like a hypothetical, like she was using a Corey Holcomb joke Terrible reference, by the way. He's hilarious, but not suitable for relationships.
Not in the middle of a relationship discussion.
Like the prompt that she used was basically, is the person, she asked me, I'll never forget this, Lord, like dating 101. She's like, do you feel like the person that you're with is a reflection of like how much you make or who you are or what's the third? She's like, and I'm just like, you got that from Corey Holcomb? Like you got that from like is there a reflection of your bank account or something? Like it was along the lines of that. And I'm just like,
I think if that's the case, it says more about you.
Yeah.
About the person asking. Yeah.
So I told her, I was like, where is this going? Like what is the problem? Yeah. This or this, that, third. And then it was a
spoiler. There's no right answer.
Of course not. It's like the Riddler.
Yeah. It's a trap.
100%.
It's a trap.
So it's like it was a precursor to 5 years from now, or 6 years from now, or 4 years from now.
Right.
What is this and this, that, third? And I was like, so I'm an awful liar. That's why I don't do it. I don't do it for that reason.
Same.
I even as a kid, I lose interest really fast in things that I don't like or I'm not good at. Like it's why I hate math to this day. I learned how to count money. I'm an expert at counting money. I have a PhD in counting money. If you owe me money, I could break down and give you a pie chart about how that's done or whatever.
That's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. That's where it stops.
Once letters start getting into the equation, it's over.
It's not math anymore.
It's over.
It's out.
Says the writer.
Exactly. says the writers. Writers Roundtable.
Bitter single writers roundtable.
Presented by Netflix. So I mean, what I did is explain to her. I'm just like, listen, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. The person I am now is not the same person I was 5 years ago. So I can't tell you and give you a definitive answer who I'm gonna be, let alone who we're gonna be. I'm just like, you're not gonna be the same person. I'm like, are you the same person you were 5 years ago? I don't think so. Matter of fact, I knew you 5 years ago. You know what I mean?
Well, and that also plays into like fast forward, like, but you said that blah 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 blah. I was like, well, that was true 2 years ago when I said it. But it's that doesn't mean I'm
there's also
handcuffed to it.
There's also
for
a
life.
point that we're not talking about because what I'm about to say is going to sound batshit.
Go ahead.
But it's low key kind of a truth. We're all working in the arts towards something.
Yes.
And that's
we're still on the incline.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that something comes with a significant change in your life.
Everything.
Yeah. Oh,
everything.
100%.
Not just money, lifestyle, all that type of things. It's a weird thing because you never like we're not braggadocious. Like I know where I'm at right now as an artist. Of course I would love to direct movies like Spielberg, but like I know where I'm at. I understand that.
Yeah. And you're self-aware.
I'm self-aware.
Yeah.
But if I were to get to that point, there is the huge lifestyle change. And I know that I'll be a different person by that point. And then I also, like, this is going to sound so uncomfortable and weird. I don't know what you're going to be like when we have millions of dollars on the line. Like, you know? Like...
Dude, this came up...
It's an honest...
This came up in my...
Like, you may be cool right now, but, like, what happens? Like, when... Like... If we sign the rich and famous contract, like what the fuck, like
what's that gonna look like?
What's that gonna look like?
So I think it was early in my last relationship, and this is something that came up.
Good shit, man.
Because
I made a Muppet reference work in
you
an
did.
actual
Hey, I'm here
adult
for it.
conversation.
I'm here for it.
And he dug it.
I'm here for it.
But Anna Faris and Chris Pratt split up.
Yeah.
Early on in my last relationship. And that was a discussion as somebody, we met out in California. We were both working for a studio. No, we never worked together. There was a little bit of overlap where we both worked at the studio, but we had our creative ambitions. Mm-hmm. So we knew that about each other right up front. But then they were splitting up and it was like, oh, that's so sad. And they have a son together and all of this stuff. But, if I remember, I'm not saying this is 100% accurate because Anna Faris, I don't know if she still does her podcast, but I was listening to it when it started out. And she was kind of saying how, when Chris Pratt started, 2014 was a huge year between the Lego movie and then Guardians, and then Jurassic World was the next year. And now all of a sudden he's way in demand and now he's not at home. Now he's away. You know, it's different when he was working on just Parks and Rec and, you know, doing movies on occasion and blah, blah, blah. Now the dynamic has shifted. But now he has momentum, something he's been working toward his whole life. And I remember her and I having this conversation and saying, but what do you do when what you've been working for your entire adult life, something that's been around longer than your relationship, when you finally get momentum, when all of a sudden you've hit a hot streak, like, do you make hay while the sun shines? Or do you back away from it because it's like, I got a wife and a kid and I kind of don't want to disrupt what's going on here. Like, what do you do? I was like, most people would do exactly what Chris Pratt did. Yeah, I got to go make movies. I'm having these opportunities. And, you know, with that is going to come A, B, C, and D. Yeah. As, you know, and this is before the business kind of, you know, the entertainment business got as destabilized as it has in the last 10 years.
I want to make a big disclaimer here. We're not at this point.
No, not at all. But
like, this is
to have
just part of it.
To have this discussion as two creative people, though, and saying, what do you do? And like, that was something, yeah, and I'll admit it. I'm not going to say I was necessarily, I'm not going to say I was right, and I'm happy to own up to it. But I said, you know, the problem is with, you know, where our relationship is and like where I'm going is you're competing with something that's been happening since I was 16 when I started playing guitar. Yeah. Like, this is something that's in me, and this is me moving in a direction that is long before you and I even met. So
Me and Film have been in a relationship much longer than
that's it. I was like, and this creative part of me, like I started writing, you know, original stories and stuff like that when I was 9. I was like, this has been me for a really long time. So for me to have to back off of that, I'm not saying there doesn't need to be some kind of balance, but that's something that is not easily. Well, no, it wasn't giving it up, but it's like, it's hard for me to throttle down from that because I'm so driven by, you know, that inborn need to create and all that's like, that's been a part of almost my entire life. So to balance it is difficult.
I mean,
but it's a consideration. Yeah, we do need to have that awareness. And at the same time, so I'm saying we're on the incline. We're still chasing.
Relationships during those types of things are difficult. My mom and dad were not together towards the end of my dad's life. Yeah. Like, it happens. Like, being an artist and doing these things, but then also having a mortgage to pay it's a different mindset on your psyche. Like, I only know of the struggles my mom has told me. Like, I can't even imagine.
And that's a fraction. That's a fraction of the actual story.
But it is something that like comes across in my mind sometimes. And I've actually like met and talked with people, and I get that this. Not that this couldn't work out, like, oh no, this could, but I feel like if it ever came to that, something's not going to click right.
Right.
I think it's like, you know, just off of that, just this, it starts with a self-awareness, you know, and I think that, you know, also being realistic, you know, I think it like if you don't begin on those two pillars, I believe you're setting yourself and the other person, it's shaky ground and shaky foundation to begin with. So it's like I've always operated at a space, you know, I remember my last relationship. I'm just like, yo, like year 1 is great. Okay, we're figuring out, this is awesome. This is I think we can make this work. I was definitely I was beginning to like nudge friends and be like, yeah, listen, I might head over to Jared. I got her some jewelry, but I was looking at rings too. I was like,
you spoke to me.
Yeah, and we had that conversation.
We had that conversation where you're like, I think this is it.
This might be it. But it's like at the same time, I'm very thankful that I'm a very deliberate, intentional person. I get that from my mom. 1,000,000% get that from my mom. Like, don't rush into things. Like you have to take a step, even when it's like really, really good, take a step back, assess it, let it play out because, and something in my spirit was like, okay, you're just a year in. Give it a little bit more time because there's a few more things.
You've got rose-colored glasses on.
Yes.
You don't even realize.
A lot,
exactly. That honeymoon phase and that like sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah,
like,
it is a phase.
Yes.
It's a phase.
Louis Armstrong, It's a Wonderful World is playing like every day.
You want to know something wild?
Yeah.
It's something I haven't been in a relationship in a while, so it's not something like I could say directly there. But at the same time, this is something I look forward to. Mm-hmm. It's not the honeymoon phase. It is that period after.
Yeah.
Where
Agreed.
we are just so entwined with each other.
Yeah.
This is gonna sound people are gonna know what I'm talking about, but it's gonna sound really wild. Where I'm practically bullying you, like you're my best friend.
Well, that's what it is. Every success relationship, that's what I look forward to. There's in jokes, there's comfort, there's
the honeymoon phase. It's complete rose-colored glasses, and it's rose-colored glasses I can't take off. Because I know that it's coming from a place that's like I'm falling for this person.
Yeah, so
that's great.
The companionship, being able to sit down and Netflix and just bullshit, or the TV's not even on. Yeah. Just be able to sit and you've lived with someone, so you know this. Being able, or just laying in bed.
Enjoy the silence.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Like that.
The comfortable silence, as referenced in Pulp Fiction.
Literally. Thank you, Quentin. Like literally, like that is like, to your point. That's. I live for that, because it's like I was explaining to I think me and my brother were talking about this, or actually one of my close friends. We were just like, yo, listen, we're not field mice. We're not gonna fuck like 24 hours, like 95 times a day, like, and or rabbits or this, that, and a third. Like the ability to, like, car rides are important, or freaking like trips. Like, going
on vacation together. That's an educational experience when you go on vacation with somebody.
I told my brother this. I'm just like he was dating, so I was like, bro, like, have you guys gone on an extended vacation or trip yet? Like a week, just you, just her. I was like, that is going to be major, and you'll understand, like, when you do. And then I remember afterward, he was just like,
a road trip.
Right. Yes.
Oh, if you're taking a road trip, something
that be the proof.
That's
a big hurdle.
Yeah. It is
a big hurdle.
It's a test. It tests people's relationship and patience, and also
it's like simulated,
right?
Like, it's like a simulated you're at home. It's like it's a simulated Truman Show.
Right.
Like, all right, like you guys, you are, for that week, you guys are living together. For that week, you are in each other's space. For that week, you're responsible, like, where's she at? Where's he at? For that whole week, it's like an accelerated, simulated, like, simulation of, like, what it's going to look like, because it's just the two of you guys.
Right.
Especially if you're in another country. If you're in another country, like, you might be calling home or might be FaceTiming the friends or this, that, there, but we're not on a couples trip. It's literally just us. We're in Germany, or we're in the Caribbean, or we're in Australia. The two of us. I don't got friends here. Like, we got
each other, and that's it.
Yes.
Dude, I will say that was a positive sign at the beginning of my last relationship, which again proved to be the longest one, where very early on, I mean, like in the first month or two, like, we both got sick at the same time, and she ended up staying with me. And we genuinely had a blast. One of us got the other one sick. I don't remember how it played out, but she stayed with me. Like, we watched movies, we watched concerts. We'd be up all night because we couldn't sleep because we were, congested and coughing and all this stuff. But it was just like, for me, it was a positive experience. For her too, because we talked about it afterwards. It was like, wow, we actually had fun being sick together. Like, that's really unique, and that was a good sign.
The last woman I was with, we literally, one of my favorite things was, like, we would actually come in here and we would just work. Like, she would bring her laptop, I'd bring mine, and it was that, like, silence, but we were focused on
together alone time. Yes, and I like that too. That's one of the things I liked about living together. Which I didn't have the first time I was. It was always like, listen, I'm trying to work on this song, or I'm trying to practice this for class, blah, blah, blah. And it was, if you really loved me, you would sit and watch Friends with me. And it's like, no.
No.
That's not how this works.
No, I won't.
The inside joke I do with not just friends, but also girls when I'm involved with them, I'm just like, you understand that everyone has their own Netflix rom-com. You know what I mean? We all have Netflix shows. Like, my life is a Netflix show. Your life is a Netflix show. If we do so happen to
Ugo's saying we're his supporting cast.
Literally. If you do so happen to find someone and they become a reoccurring cast member on that show or whatnot, I mean, you hope for that. You live for that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that should be the goal.
Maybe they'll become the co-lead.
Yes. Maybe they graduate from cameo
to... They get special guest appearance by.
From cameo to supporting role to, you know what I mean?
We hope you move up in the cast.
Co-lead.
That's the goal. That's the goal. And I think that,
that's so fucking funny.
You have to add an element of humor, because what I do is, like,
pathos. Yes. Humor and pathos. That's what you get on Cape.
I try to look through those lenses to remove some of the anxiety and to remove some of the pressure, of course, to help mitigate the pressure from my family and from
in general.
And again, it's very important what you consume Because again, like what you're watching, it's either going to feed your security and your comfort, or it's going to feed your anxiety, depression, or like just on edge. It's like it's going to feed something. You know what I mean? So it's just like, yo, if you're on edge or you're like not sure about like, yo, I don't know, should I be in a relationship? You probably shouldn't watch just or listen to 50 dating podcasts that are saying that, yo, men ain't shit and women ain't shit. Like you probably shouldn't be consuming that on a regular basis, because all that's going to do is heighten and like it's not gonna help.
Well, and that's also why I prefer going out in the real world as opposed to dating and all that. Like, okay, we went out a couple. This is a funny story.
That was funny.
We went out a couple of weeks ago.
It was night at the Roxbury.
Literally. Ugo and I went out whoring. No.
Oh shit. Okay.
You're so white.
Let's do it.
It was a rare. What was it? A Saturday night? I think we went out a Saturday night. We were both not working, and we were like, "Hey, man, let's go out." We went out to Hoboken.
Yes.
And we
never sleeps
until 2 a.m. when everything closes, or 3 a.m. actually, I think. Yeah. But anyway, so we were out, and we were going out to hang out primarily, and it was like, if we end up talking to some ladies, great. If we don't, great. Like the point was, we're going out, we're gonna have a few drinks. We kept saying we need to go out to Hoboken. Yes. We'll get together and have dinner and all that, but like not going out and just kind of doing whatever. And we talked to a couple of women like here and there, and then we went to this one bar, which we actually circled back to because it was a night that was humid as shit. Yes. So we went back to this one place because the air conditioning was the best.
Yes, I was familiar with. Very nice.
Yes,
yeah,
and
I suggested.
It was more packed than the first time we were there. Like this place was packed. And so we did a lap around just to find somewhere to maybe sit, more likely stand. And have the air conditioning.
On that corner,
get
right?
rid of our. Well, I mean, kind of, yeah.
I'm in this nook right here.
We were like, let's find a little corner where we can at least stand still and like let the air cool us down. And it was so funny because he clocked this woman that he knew I was gonna he knew I'd be attracted to. So he already had it in his head. It was just like, we're gonna circle back. I know it. And we did. And we walked past these two, and then it was two friends who were out together. And I leaned in and just said something to the two of them, and then we started talking. And
it became a two-man.
I was talking to one.
It naturally became a two-man.
Yes.
Like a natural two-man.
But just talk. But no
two-man progression.
No pressure, no agenda on our end.
Yeah.
Just hi.
You can, hey. Like you came to, like I was driving, like you came to my place, and then I drove us because I'm closer than you were to Hoboken. So, I mean, there was no like, get your own Uber home, asshole. There's none of that. Like that was not the plan. We were not like that wasn't why we were going out. So there were no stakes. And I'm saying that because it's important. Like there were no stakes. We were like there was an agenda when we went out. It was just like if we talked to somebody or one of us hits it off with somebody, then okay. But that wasn't why we were out. Yeah. So and by the way, it's healthy to go out with that mindset. I mean, if you want to go out just to actually talk to women just for the sake of getting reps in or something like that, nothing wrong with that. But we literally went out with no agenda and said like, if something happens. But the point is,
yes,
exactly, because those are the nights you go home frustrated.
Need to go out like that a little more.
Well, that was a conscious thing. I was like, let's go out and like we'll see what happens because we talked about it on the way there. It's just like we'll see, but like I'm not looking to like drive somebody home and just be like, good luck getting home, fool. Like that wasn't the point, and I felt like it was fair. Yeah, I felt like it was fair, like for us to establish that, just be like, and we'll see what happens. So anyway, we're talking to these two ladies, and what was it? You had suggested we got shots.
Yes,
and
I will always suggest shots. That's my thing.
And then a table opened up. They were seated at the bar, I should say.
Yeah. And
then a table opened up. So Ugo said, let's go grab that table. So then he led them over to the table, and then I followed, and we're sitting, and he's talking to one, and I'm talking to the other. And he brings up, I don't remember if it was at the bar or at the table. He's showing him the poster for The Out. Just be like, we do film. We're actors and all this stuff. I'm like, oh my God. And we're talking now. The estimation on both of our parts, because there were a lot of like college age kids at a lot of the places we went to, which we left kind of quickly because we were not college age. So
I've gotten to that point. It's weird.
Yeah. Well, it is kind of like, what am I going to talk to a 22-year-old about?
Yeah.
Like even at 30, you're like, what are we going to talk about? And
iPod.
So yeah, right. So I think we both, well, I know because we talked about it after the fact, but in the moment we didn't know. We both had the impression these women were in like their late 20s. Now, granted, Ugo younger than me, but still it was like, well, we're just talking. So there's no anything about it. So at a point when Ugo was talking to okay, let's say blonde and brunette. I don't want to say the one lady. Ugo was talking to a blonde. I was talking to a brunette. Yeah. And at one point, I don't remember. I didn't hear because you two were talking, but at one point the age came up. Yeah, I think she. And I don't know. She asked you how old you were.
She asked me how old I was.
Okay, so the blonde asked him how old he is.
Yeah, and again,
and you said,
and full disclaimer, as I said, I'm not a good liar. Yeah. So I always respond when that is like, how old do you think I am? That's my go-to.
That's mine too, because yeah.
Ambiguous. Ambiguous features. So like she assumed that I was like 29 or like I want to say like 28 or 29, and I was like, that's flattering, sweetheart.
Yeah.
That's flattering, toots. But I was like, keep it going. I was like, keep going. And she's like, 30, 31. But once she got past 33, she was like, no way. And I'm just like, you can keep going. Like, I'll stop you when. When she got to, I'm 37. Full
37?
37. She was like, it was basically, it was like
coming too.
It was like freaking when Don Cheadle and Kevin Hart went on his, she was and Kevin and Don Cheadle said his age, and Kevin Hart was just like, damn.
Yeah.
It was that face. She didn't say damn, but she was just like.
The blonde like stops and then turns to the brunette, her friend.
It's that scene in Jaws when he sees the thing happening out in the ocean and the dolly zoom.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally. She couldn't believe it. She thought I was lying. I had to bring my license out. I'm just like,
I saw that.
I was like, I'm not lying. Like,
and then
what do I have to lie about?
I forgot about the license till you said it now. But that was the point where the blonde turns to the brunette and says, he's 37. And she was just kind of looking like, And then she turns to me. She said, how old are you? And I said, not 37. Like, I didn't say what it was. Now also,
classic.
Classic.
I like
well, I mean, it's not a lie.
Not.
Having said that, I will say that I did up until early September actually had the beard most of the year.
Yeah,
and got rid of it. Yeah, so don't say that, man. Of all people,
we're going home.
I had the uncut gems beard, and
nice. Deep cut.
Hey, but anyway, I had that.
I know because he wants to watch the movie. Yeah, we can do. Subconscious.
So that the beard does. I mean, it makes most guys look older, and that's part of the appeal as well. I had it for reasons.
I shaped mine up, man. I was looking like Django when I woke up this morning.
That's the problem. Is like
you're like, I'm gonna be on camera.
Oh my god! It's just I know that this hides something under here that I don't want to see or anybody else to see. So I should
take you to a place I go and they'll shape you up.
I will allow Wild Man for a little bit.
We should get you shaped up.
Yeah,
just shape it up. Just shape it up. You should just shape it up. You don't gotta lose it. I lost it obviously for what lives here.
I did
for the character. But
I will say
I have to have a beard. I look wild without a beard.
Having just gotten,
I look insane.
I look crazy.
I don't even recognize myself without a beard.
I didn't recognize myself for like 2 days after I shaved it off. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't as bad. I will say, having gone back and watched the episode you and I did with Jason, what is now Cape 241?
Yes.
Well, it was at the time, but now it's been released. But my beard was full. I was actually surprised. And that was only a month.
Yeah.
Because I didn't shave New Year's Day and just kept it up. And we recorded that like February 3rd or something. Like it was very early. So that was only a month. And I watched the video back. I'm like, wow, this is bushy for a whole month. Because eventually I started like I bought a trimmer and I was shaping it and all that other stuff. So I did have the beard. So admittedly, I did look older by pretty much everybody's perception. So there was an actual question of my age. But I don't know how, but the blonde said, I'm 23.
I broke the fourth wall.
Yeah.
When she said that, I literally was like,
yeah.
Oh, shucks. I thought
which you might find in a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich.
Exactly.
It was that.
Literally trading places.
And then I turned to the brunette and I said, are you 23? And she said, I'm 23 in a week. And I was like,
no.
Now I'm like, Okay.
But were you having, were you having like conversations?
It was, yeah. I mean, they didn't
feel like pulling.
Let's put it this way: even conversation as far as them talking about what they did for work, and it seemed like how long they were doing it. It seemed like they were like 27, 28, something like that. And again, we were just talking. The brunette I know worked in marketing, worked in the city, and she'd been in for at least 2 years.
She's been out of school for maybe a year or two.
Yeah.
She was telling me that she just got her first
a month or two, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know what the blonde did. I don't know what she did for work.
The blonde did. She said something along the lines too. It was something in marketing, something in publishing.
Okay, so it was
along the lines of that.
Okay, so what we thought was in some kind of.
That's what I've heard recently from a set I was just on last weekend. Is that this dating conversation came up for filmmakers.
Mm-hmm.
None of them put, "Oh, I'm a writer, director, I do all these things." They just say I work in movies.
Yeah. Well, that's to go off of that. When people ask me my official title, I just say I'm a producer. Like because for the 3 jobs that I do, at least 2 out of 3 of them, I'm a producer. Mm-hmm. That's literally my job. Is to it's either live production, it's either virtual production, it's either it's either sports. It's something in the world of that. So I just say producer. I just keep it at that. And let it be ambiguous.
Yeah. So. Well, that's my thing has been filmmaker because yes, I did my own worked on 2 in 2023 because I worked on Just Desserts with You, and then 2024 4 films and also 2 stand-up specials. So I'm like, okay, well, yeah, filmmaker. That's not a lie. It is something, and that the next one's forthcoming.
Apparently, it's the connotation of if you put writer, direct, like all these things that like pinpoint. I like artist and producer just because that. In companies that I can also do music a little bit, but apparently they put that down because people have the automatic assumption, oh, you're broke.
Yeah.
Well, to go off of that, I'm glad you mentioned that because I remember with one girl, we're friends now. It's hilarious. In one of the group chats, I for shits and giggles was just like, yeah. So I DJ too. So I guess you could say I'm a DJ. It's not my main thing. She's been fixated on that since the moment she met me. She's like, oh my God, you're a DJ. And I'm just like, I'm a producer. Like for one of the companies I work for, yes, I DJ too, but I'm not.
But she heard that.
She heard that.
And latched onto that
and
like a
that,
shark.
Bro, that is what I am and will always be that. We still joke about that shit because it's funny. I'm just like.
Is it who I think it is?
Yeah.
First one is DJ.
It's exactly who you think it is.
Got it. Okay. We'll talk about this. You know this person. Yes, we'll talk about it off mic. You know exactly who this is. That's why when you mentioned she latched on to the DJ thing, I was like, I know exactly who he's talking about.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah. So there are certain professions.
Yeah,
that get the treatment of like, oh, he doesn't have any money, or he doesn't have a job.
Well, that's it. It's like I work in finance, or I don't know what it is they want to hear. Like if you say everybody says, "Oh, say you're an entrepreneur." I'm like, entrepreneur says broke.
That
like
sounds
you don't
broke.
have money. Yeah, exactly.
CEO is like, golly.
Yeah, but CEO,
you have a mattress on the ground.
Yeah, that's only impressive if you're the CEO of if you're
Apple.
Yeah, exactly. If you're Tim Cook or Jeff Bezos,
and even then it's not cool because then you go to a Coldplay concert and get spotted.
Yeah, being a CEO ain't what it used to be.
You play yourself.
Chris Martin's out here ruining perfectly good side.
I love that. I love that when I went and saw Oasis. Back in August, it was so funny. They were just like, we don't have any of those Coldplay cameras. We don't care who you're here with. Oh yeah, he did. There are no audience cameras, and Liam Gallagher said that.
They were losing it.
We're not Coldplay. We don't have cameras pointed at you. We don't care who you're doing your business with, or something like. Oh, it was so fucking funny.
They lost it. Everyone had to have lost it.
That was so funny, and they're like, no more audience cameras anymore. Of
course, those cheeky fuckers would do something like that. It's
well done.
I mean, they're very as they should.
Well done.
That's top tier trolling.
Yeah, that's top tier trolling.
100%. So as a PS, by the way, what happened with the 2 23-year-olds? They got up to go to the ladies' room shortly after that moment to probably be like, we got to get away from these old men. No, they came back to the table. But there was a moment like him and I look at each other like, dead end. No, we're not doing this. And the whole time I'm just like, Just remember, when they come back to the table, keep in mind that they were born after 9/11. Okay, just
when he said that, I wanted to walk out.
Yeah,
I just wanted to walk out. I was
but
like,
it was weird. I'm like,
you know what?
They literally were born into a different world than I was. Like that was a moment where I'm like, okay, no.
You don't remember
That's
when the
line.
airport didn't care.
Yeah, you don't remember walking through the detector with your shoes on. Like it was. Let me tell you,
what a time.
You know
what a time.
This is a very brief aside. I just saw the movie Caught Stealing
Uh-huh.
with Austin Butler, and the whole point of that movie is that it is set in a pre 9/11 world, and when you watch it, you're like, oh, that's why.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes on in that I'm
the 90s are period films. Yeah.
In a pre 9/11 world.
Oh yeah.
Like that's wild.
100%.
But I also want to point out I loved the mutual Like
no, we knew.
I love when that happens.
We're both like, even though again, him being younger than me, he's still like too young. I'm like, no, it's not. Which again, the conversation, none of it. There were girls there who were clearly like 21, 22.
Yes.
And that all the more reason these two frankly stood out because we were like, okay, these are women. These aren't girls. Like there's something like they were dressed more maturely. Like not matronly. Like I realize that may sound so, but like they weren't dressed like 22-year-olds who were going out, 23-year-olds. Like not what you would think. They were very nicely dressed and out. And again, this was a classy place. This wasn't some like bar that attracted like a college crowd necessarily. So we did, but there were certainly. You could pinpoint the 21, 22-year-olds there. But these two didn't stand out. So there was no indication, even conversationally and thinking about like, okay, they're like 2 years into the career or something. Okay. Yeah. They both lived in Jersey. So, there was nothing that was like, gave anything away. Yeah. And then that was like, and they went to the ladies' room and I'm like,
got a red light.
I was like, they're talking about that. Yeah. Like they're talking about the same thing.
Now you got that Iron Giant spotlight when he's looking down on you. Like,
and then
what's good?
Then I heard the purge horn behind me. Like, it's like, you guys gotta get out of here.
And I'm going to cut in here to end the show because, unfortunately or fortunately, because the conversation's great. The conversation's so great, it carries on for a whole lot longer. And rather than editing this episode down and saying, I want to put it out, and to not put out a 3-hour show, believe it or not, this show actually does have limits. I said, I'm going to break this up into 2 episodes. So it's not really like a 2-parter necessarily, but it will be to be continued next Monday in Cape 244. So you'll get more of myself and Christian and Ugo from A Shared Universe. Conversation goes in different direction, but we will be carrying on and giving you another episode full of depth and hilarity. So until next time, for Christian and Ugo, this is Chris Aballo, and this was yet another experiment.